what if the missing piece for Detroit wasn't a headline receiver or a flashy edge, but a silent earthquake in the middle that flips December football without warning? What if a move brewed in the dark corners of Allen Park, the kind of move that doesn't trend in the morning but decides 3rd and 2 in the fourth quarter? You can feel it, like the room pressure changed. Something that looks stuck for 2 seasons suddenly feels unlocked, and if you listen closely, you can hear the sound of a front office sliding a heavyweight onto the chessboard. Here's the promise. I'm going to connect the dots you've been seeing and the ones you haven't. Why the timing is perfect. How the value lines up with Detroit's window. What this does to early downs and 4-minute defense. And why a player other teams couldn't solve might be the exact context play that makes sense here. We'll talk role, rotation math, contract logic, and the 2 risks we have to own. No fluff, just football, impact, and consequences. Lions fans, if this is your kind of conversation, straight talk, passion, and real film room detail, stick with us and join the community here at Lions News Fan Report. Drop a like, subscribe, turn on notifications, and let's keep this thing rolling together. Detroit's identity starts where the game starts, at the line of scrimmage. You don't bully the NFC North from the perimeter in November. You do it by turning 1st and 10 into 2nd and 9, by shrinking the menu for offenses that want to live in light boxes, and by making quarterbacks feel the pocket narrow from the center line out. That's been the blueprint under this staff. Build a rotation instead of a dependency, stack complementary traits, take distressed assets whose tape improves when you simplify the ask and let them do what they do best. It's not star chasing, it's matchup engineering. And when you do it right, the fourth quarter becomes a math problem the other team can't solve. Now the headline, Maisie Smith to Detroit. That's the news lighting up your timeline, and it lands like a thud because of what it means in practical terms. Smith is a true interior anchor with first-round traits built for a job that wins in January, owning the A-gap, absorbing doubles, resetting the line of scrimmage, and forcing offenses to play left-handed. The context matters. His usage elsewhere leaned him toward penetration, and quick win asks that didn't match the core of his game. Shift the job back to what he is. Dense leverage, inside hands, lockout and peek. And the picture changes fast inside this defense. Let's talk fit. In Detroit's fronts, the heavy one-tech isn't asked to be a stat monster. He's asked to wreck angles. Park him on the center's nose on early downs, shade him to the strong side when you want to spill, and make that interior combo block feel like pushing a car up a hill. When that happens, your backers trigger clean, your 3-tech can play on an edge instead of holding ground, and your edges can rush without worrying that the pocket is ballooning up the middle. It sounds simple, but this is how you steal 3rd downs in the playoffs. Win the center line so the playbook shrinks. Rotation math matters. You don't want any single big shouldering 70% of the snaps through winter. You want 3 interior players living around 45-55% with a 4th eating the rest, so your fourth quarter pad level still lives below the opponents. That lets you stay heavy against heavy personnel without telegraphing your tendencies. Short yardage gets clearer too. Stack Smith as the post. Slant your 3-tech across the guard's face, spill to the force, and suddenly that gotta-have-it power call becomes a stalemate instead of a surge. What changes on film right away? The first 5 minutes will tell you. If the center and guard can't dent the nose-on duo, the offensive coordinator dials down the A-gap stuff and detours to perimeter screens and crack toss to stay on schedule. That's the ripple you want because it lets your safeties play faster and your corners stop peeking into the backfield. A controlled middle is a disciplined secondary's best friend. This is also a culture fit. Detroit's staff has been clear. Effort, pad discipline, and doing your job unlock the reward. Smith's best college tape was violent but controlled. Step, strike, lockout, find the ball, finish. When he lives there, he's a problem. When he chases and plays late with his hands, he gets stuck. That's the development plan, cadence work for get-off, daily strike sequencing to fix hand timing, and a narrow menu of moves built around control first, shed second. Give him a defined lane, let repetition do the rest. Let's be adults and talk risk. Red flag 1, snap timing. When he's late, he gives up half a man, and you can't always bull through that disadvantage, even with elite strength. Red flag 2, hand placement. If he misses the chest with the first strike, the blocker can latch and steer. Both issues are coachable, but only if he buys into the rep count and the monotony that comes with rebuilding a rhythm. Detroit has earned trust on that front. The development track for their trench players has been real, but it still requires commitment from the player. Why the valuation makes sense. You're not paying veteran money for a veteran ceiling. You're paying late pick capital for a 23-year-old with team control who fills a role that matters more in January than it does in August. If the compensation is in that conditional day 3 range with playtime or active roster escalators, you've insulated the downside. If it hits, you've bought a playoff liver for a price you can live with. If it doesn't, you've risked a ticket you can afford. Timing is everything. The calendar in this league compresses leverage. Early season inactives and role ambiguity depress price. A team with a clear identity and a defined need can move decisively while the rest of the market is still arguing about labels. That's when smart front offices pounce. When the asset is cheaper than the role value you can unlock on your field. What does this do to Detroit's week to week? On rundowns, it simplifies fits. On pass downs, it creates vertical compression so edges can flatten. In 4-minute situations, it makes first contact at the line instead of 2 yards deep. That's how you close. That's how you survive a December schedule against heavy-handed teams who want to make you play big boy ball for 60 minutes. So, is this absolute fact or just smoke? The move is being treated as real in football conversations because the fit is obvious, the timing aligns, and the price point is logical. The only line that matters is the one the team prints, and until that drops, you treat it as a move with momentum that isn't formally on the wire. That's the honest line. What we can say with conviction is that the football case is sturdy. Role clarity here turns question marks into assignments, and assignments into stops. There's also a subtle offensive benefit people overlook. A defense that owns early downs gives Ben Johnson more possessions to script around, more short fields to attack, and a better run-pass balance when the scoreboard doesn't force the issue. Complementary football is a cliché until you feel what it does to play calling. If the middle holds, your offense stops chasing and starts dictating. My personal take, do it at the right price. If the ask sits in that conditional 6th zone with snap-based sweeteners, I'm a yes. You're betting on traits the staff knows how to steward, not trying to rebadge a completely different player. The floor is a sturdy 2-down hammer who lets your stars play downhill. The ceiling is a roll-perfect nose who tilts short yardage and makes January quieter for your linebackers. If the price balloons into middle-round certainty, I'd walk. Detroit got here by being disciplined, not by winning rumor season trophies. But if the number stays in the value lane and the room is ready for the work, this is exactly how you add power without noise. Tell me what you think, Detroit. At that conditional price point, are you in? If you are, you already know where to be, right here with Lions News Fan Report, because the games we want to win are decided where this move wants to win, straight through the heart of the line.